The hour of 12 noon having arrived, the House will come to order. Members, please take your seats. Sergeants at arms, please close the doors of the House. Prayer today will be offered by our colleague, Representative Vinkett. Immediately after prayer, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Members and guests, please rise as able.
Good afternoon. For today's prayer, I will be reciting the Gayatri Mantra from the oldest Hindu scriptural text, the Rig Veda. This prayer has special meaning to me because it was taught to me during my Upanayanam, which is a ceremony in certain Hindu traditions when an early adolescent enters the stage of studying scripture, roughly analogous to the Jewish bar mitzvah. The Gayatri Mantra is recited in threes, so I will recite it twice in Sanskrit and once in English translation. Om Bhurtbhuvatsavaha Tatsavadurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimihi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayade. Om Bhurtbhuvatsavaha Tatsavadurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimihi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayade. Om, we meditate on that most adored Supreme Lord, the Creator, whose divine light illuminates all realms, physical, mental, and spiritual. May this divine light illuminate our intellect.
I pledge allegiance Without objection, the approval of the Journal of Wednesday, September 25th, 2024 will be postponed until printed. The following journal is in print and without objection will be approved. Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. Videographer Mark Thompson from the Democratic Legislative Communications Office is permitted to take videography for a period not to exceed 10 minutes. Sergeant at Arms will open the doors of the House. Colleagues, please take your seats. The House will come to order. Members, please take all conversation off of the floor of the House. It is with great pleasure on this afternoon, our first full day of voting session this fall, that we are able to honor someone who has worked so hard amongst our ranks. It is exciting that today we have seated as a guest to the left of the Speaker's rostrum, Margaret Dobler, who's here with her family and her friends, and they are here to celebrate her retirement after 25 distinguished years of service, of dedication to the House of Representatives. Margaret started her career here in 1999 as a staff secretary in the legislative office for the research liaison, and then moved on to the bipartisan management committee in the comptroller's office as a clerk typist in 2011. Margaret then served as the administrative assistant to parliamentarian, who's also here, retired and enjoying his lavish life post-House, Clancy Meyer. And in 2023, she came back to return to the BMC as the executive assistant to our Madam Chief Clerk. Joining Margaret here today are her husband, Doug, her daughter, Laura, her granddaughter, Sophia, former parliamentarian Clancy Meyer, former Chief Clerk, always good to see you. We're very close. You don't visit. I ask myself why. Dave Redcliffe, along with her former coworkers and dear friends, Kelly Fideli, who we also miss, and of course, Penny Wolf. Please join me in congratulating you on your well-earned 25 years of service, now retirement. We will in fact miss you, and we wish you the very best. Margaret, please stand. Congratulations. The House will briefly be at ease. Chair requests the legislative floor leaders to join her on the rostrum. The House will come to order. Members, we have a few guest pages here today. In the front of the House, our colleague from Allegheny County, Representative Steele, has her son, Jack O'Hara, a 13-year-old honor student and also a member of the crew team, as a guest page. Jack, please stand. Welcome to the floor of the House. Our colleague that serves Luzerne County, Representative Cabell, has brought his son, Julian, along with two of his friends, Jace Galtieri and Cooper Hill. They're both here for the Educational Day in the Capitol. Julian, Jace, and Cooper, please stand. Welcome to the floor of the House. Our colleague that serves Indiana County, Representative Struzzi, has a special guest page here today. Angelo Gentile, who's a 10th grade student looking forward to studying political science in college, is here. Angelo, please stand. Welcome. In the gallery, our colleague that serves Lancaster, Representative Smith Wade L., has students here from Millersville University. We are so excited to welcome the Center for Civic Responsibility and Leadership Civic Engagement Fellows Program. They are focusing on equipping students to become active leaders in civic affairs. Welcome, Millersville. Our colleague that serves Lackawanna County, Representative Donahue, has in the gallery his legislative intern, Nil Forlenza. Nil is a student at the University of Scranton and is studying political science. Nil, please stand. Welcome. Our colleagues who are right across the river, Representatives Kutz and Delosier in Cumberland County, have the Upper Allen Mechanicsburg 8U baseball team here, along with their coaches and their family. The 8U team recently won the Cal Ripken Baseball World Series on Saturday, August the 17th in Cherry Hill. Upper Allen baseball team, congratulations. It is my honor locations have changed. In the back of the house, it's my honor to have my legislative intern here, Nasia Thompson-King. She is a senior at Temple University. She is studying pre-law, political science, Africology, and African American studies. She's an honors student and a member of the Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity. Nasia gives back to her community through the Nicetown CDC, where she has been volunteering since 2016, and she's joined by my district office director, Hans Van Mol. Nasia, so glad to see you off of 60th Street. Welcome to Harrisburg. Seated to the left of the speaker rostrum, we have some special guests here today for the swearing in that will happen in a few moments. We are so excited to welcome Pennsylvania Senator Sharif Street, Philadelphia City Council members Isaiah Thomas, Kendra Brooks, Nicholas O'Rourke, Philadelphia City Controller Christy Brady, Philadelphia City Commissioner Lisa Dilley. We're always glad to have you in Harrisburg. We have the Philadelphia Register of Wills, Sabatina, seated on the floor of the House. Please stand. Welcome. And we have a former member and our former sheriff in Philadelphia, Jewel Williams, who served many years here in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Please stand. We're so glad to welcome you back. The House will now take up a special order of business, the swearing in of Representative-elect Keith Harris in the 195th Legislative District and Representative-elect Andre Carroll in the 201st Legislative District. The chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms of the House.
Madam Speaker, Jonathan Marks, Deputy Secretary of Elections and Commissions, Department of State.
The chair recognizes Jonathan Marks, the Deputy Secretary for Elections and Commissions from the Pennsylvania Department of State.
Madam Speaker, it is my honor and privilege to present the election returns and the certifications of campaign expense compliance for the special elections held on September 17, 2024 in the 195th and 201st legislative districts.
The chair thanks the Deputy Secretary, and the clerk will now read the returns.
To the Honorable Speaker and members of the House of Representatives of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Greetings. I have the honor to present the official returns of the special elections for Representative of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania held in the 195th and the 201st Legislative Districts, as the same has been certified to and filed with my office by the County Boards of Elections. The following, having received the highest number of votes in this special election and having complied with the provisions of Article 16 of the Pennsylvania Election Code pertaining to primary and election expenses: Representative Keith Simonia Harris of the 195th Legislative District and Representative Andre Carroll of the 201st Legislative District are duly elected representatives of the General Assembly.
The chair requests that the members-elect come forward to the front of the well of the House for the purpose of taking the oath of office. Please bring your sacred book if you so desire, and your family members are welcome to come forward to hold the sacred book during the administration of the oath of office. The oath of office, required by Article 6, Section 3 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, will now be administered by Her Honor, the Honorable Susan Schwab, United States Magistrate Judge for the Middle District of Pennsylvania.
Good afternoon. I'm going to ask you both to place your left hand on your sacred text and raise your right hand. You got it? Left, right. Okay. Okay. And repeat after me. I, and your name, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Thank you. Congratulations.
The House will come to order. Good afternoon, and welcome to all of our special guests in the House chamber today. Most importantly, congratulations to our newest colleagues and Pennsylvania's newest representatives, Representative Keith Harris and Representative Andre Carroll. You both bring rich experience to the halls of this house, the People's House. It's been influenced by your families who are here and so very proud, by your communities who are also here and so very proud, and by your respective careers and lived experiences. Representative Harris, you started your career in public service years ago when you worked on so many grassroots initiatives to beautify the city that we both call home, the city of sisterly affection and, of course, brotherly love. You laid the foundation for the Mural Arts Project, and you fought to improve access to health care in our community, to strengthen violence prevention initiatives, youth education and empowerment. As a local elected ward leader, you've helped to advance issues of affordable housing, one of the greatest issues that not only our city and state are facing, but our nation. I look forward to hearing what your voice will add to the policy debates that will happen on this floor and all of the topics that we will advance in the coming weeks and months. Representative Carroll, you have a keen understanding of some of the greatest challenges impacting Pennsylvania's working families because you managed and you overcame so many obstacles in your life at yet a very young age, but also because of your leadership, your engagement with families, working in Philadelphia Public Schools, working in an office where I worked for the 8th Senatorial District with State Senator Anthony Hardy Williams, and being a part of so many teams from City Hall to this state capitol. Your commitment to change our criminal justice system is admirable. Your vision to transform our communities and make them healthier and equitable is inspiring. Your voice will also add authenticity to the experience and the important discussions that we have under this Capitol Dome. This day is very monumental. It is one that you will never forget. Don't be overwhelmed by the magnificent surroundings, this beautiful hall, and the unfamiliar procedures and the new faces. I, too, came in a special election in the middle of an ongoing legislative session in 2015, and I remember how difficult it is to get acclimated and adjusted when it seems all your other classmates are already up to speed. But there are 201 of us on this side, and each of us, whether we came at the start of a session or in the middle of a session, know how exciting it is to be able to represent your neighbors for the first time. So many of us, you can lean on each of your colleagues. We are all here to support and to help you. Your work as a lawmaker begins right now. We have lots of work to do this fall, and we need your voices. We are so very proud of you and appreciate all the hard work that you've done to this point to get you to the seats that you're sitting in right now, and those you will soon occupy with your name and district on them on the floor of the House. Congratulations and welcome to the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Representatives, we are so glad to have you. Congratulations. The chair now recognizes the majority leader for remarks, the gentleman from Montgomery County, Representative Bradford.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is my honor to welcome the two newest members of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives and the two newest members of the House Democratic Caucus, Andre Carroll and Keith Harris. Andre represents the 201st District in the Philadelphia neighborhoods of Germantown, Logan, and West Oak Lane. A Germantown native raised by his grandmother, Andre has dedicated his life to public service. He's committed to addressing criminal justice reform, access to health care, funding our public schools, fighting to increase the minimum wage, and access to affordable housing, and more. Keith represents the 195th District in the Philadelphia neighborhoods of Strawberry Mansion, North Central Philly, Brewery Town, and Spring Garden. Keith also has decades of experience in public service and dedication to his community, including a lead role in Philly's graffiti removal program. As a ward leader, he's fought for fair housing and reducing community violence. As a former board member of the Strawberry Mansion Health Center, he assured better access to health care in his community. He also served as the Sergeant of Arms for Philadelphia City Council. As a representative, he plans to continue his work on access to mental health, public education, public safety, opportunities for employment, and more. I'm excited to have Representative Carroll and Representative Harris join our caucus and this great chamber. Both are impressive individuals with a passion for serving their common communities. I have no doubt that they will continue to be incredible advocates for their neighbors and our Commonwealth. And I will say, at this point, I've tried to include one anecdote or one piece of life advice or professional advice to every new class, and I think about 2 classes ago of the subclass of the class of 22, I ran out of great wisdom to impart. And I'm going to repeat myself a little bit, but I will tell you I think it's the best advice that I was given when I came into this body. It's about the relationships and the friendships. I realize coming in a little bit later, a little bit deeper into a term, almost to the end of a term, you can say, well, how do I really fit in? I will tell you, you will fit in fine. Your colleagues will make sure you fit in. It is their obligation to make sure that happens, but it is also your obligation to extend yourself across the aisle from different parts and different regions of this Commonwealth to people whose experiences are quite different. I will tell you, those relationships, those friendships will serve you well, not just in legislating, but in life. When I leave this chamber, I will know that those relationships are what I will take with me more than anything else. Now, with that, I will give you an anecdote that another one that seems pertinent. This weekend, my daughter, who's a transfer student, had Parents' Weekend at her new college, and I thought to myself, well, this seems kind of accurate. You guys are moving in to a setting which seems like they're already in the flow of things. And I will tell you that I think she's been there for 3 or 4 weeks, and she's created a lot of friends. And it seems like she knows everything that's going on in that school. So the test that you have in front of you is in 3 or 4 weeks from now, when your friend and family that have joined you today ask you, how's it going up in Harrisburg? It is your obligation to follow the model of those transfer students, and in 3 or 4 weeks to be able to know where every bathroom is, how all the legislation works, how all the parliamentary procedure works. You've got a big job in front of you, but your experience and your life tells us that you will do so seamlessly and gracefully and to the benefit of your community. So with that, congratulations and welcome to this chamber and welcome to this caucus. We're glad to have you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair would like to recognize the entrance of the gentleman who serves the 1st Senatorial District. Seated in the rear of the House, we are so pleased to welcome Pennsylvania State Senator Nikhil Saval. Senator, please stand. Welcome. Chair would like to acknowledge the gentleman from Lancaster, Representative Cutler.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As we've done several times this session, I want to offer my welcome to the Pennsylvania House of Representatives on behalf of the Republican caucus. As both of your backgrounds, Representative Harris and Carroll, indicate, that included campaign management and community organizing, many of the basic functions of this job will actually come very natural to you. It is about, as the good leader said, the relationships and the connections that you're able to make, and you've got vast experience in those worlds. But you also join a chamber today with qualities and attributes that make this one of the greatest and historical bodies in terms of our American history and government. As you are likely aware, but it always bears repeating, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives is the oldest continually elected legislative body in the country, dating back to William Penn's Provincial Assembly. You now join that legislative tradition dating back hundreds of years that has survived war, social change, development, pandemics, boom times, and depressions. And I think it goes without saying that you understand the members who preceded you in office in each of your respective districts were some of the most respected here in the General Assembly. They were known for working across the aisle to get things done, putting people over partisanship, and working to truly better the people they represent and the people of the Commonwealth as a whole. So again, Representative Keith and Carroll, I will leave you with 2 pieces of advice, just as the Majority Leader did, and I've given it to all the new members, whether Republican or Democrat. Please get to know your fellow members, not just those of your own party, but those on this side of the aisle as well, because those connections will serve you well as you work on some very difficult issues that we face here in the General Assembly. And I don't just mean handshakes and niceties and pleasantries exchanged before a committee meeting. Get to know them. Understand the issues that we each brought here and why we advocate. Because I have come to realize when you understand what drives a person, what issues are important to them, you can better understand how and why we all make the decisions we do. And likewise, it is incumbent upon us to learn about your issues that you care about and that have been involved in your life's works. Have real conversations, be social, build those relationships. Some of the most meaningful and productive relationships you will have in this experience will actually come from people you likely disagree with. I want that to sink in, and I think sometimes we miss that too often here in this chamber. Because some of my best friends, we never vote together here on the floor, but we can still discuss and understand each other's perspectives because we first understood each other as people. And that is really the fundamental piece that I would leave with you here. And it's okay to be in disagreement occasionally, because that, I think, can actually lead to productive conversations and positive results. And finally, endeavor to leave this chamber, your caucus, our fellow legislators, better than you found it. As we conclude this legislative session, there are still many things to look forward to accomplishing. Whether your time here is a few months or many years, always work with your legacy and the future of your districts and of Pennsylvania in mind. Again, welcome. I look forward to working with both of you, and it's wonderful to have a full complement here in the General Assembly once again. I wish you the best of luck, and my door will always be open. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair would like to note for the body, we now have a J. Harris and a K. Harris, both from Philadelphia, but we will figure it out. Congratulations to our newest members. This concludes our swearing-in ceremony. The House will temporarily be at ease. The House will come to order. Are there requests for leaves of absence? Chair recognizes the Majority Whip, who indicates there are none. Chair recognizes the Minority Whip, who indicates there are none. The chair is about to take the master roll call. Members will proceed to vote. The guests should have a seat. The guests should have a seat. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Guests, please have a seat. Guests, please have a seat. Clerk will record the vote. 202 members having voted on the master roll call. A quorum is present. Chair is in receipt of a report from the Committee on Committees and has made appointments, which the clerk will now read.
September 30th, 2024. Jean McNeil is elected to the Children and Youth Committee and appointed chair. Jeannie McNeil resigns to the Finance Committee. Keith Harris is elected to the Finance Committee. Jeannie McNeil resigns to the Game and Fisheries Committee. Keith Harris is elected to the Game and Fisheries Committee. Jeannie McNeil resigns the Labor Committee. Josh Siegel is elected to the Labor Committee. Jeannie McNeil resigns from the Transportation Committee. Dave Mattson is elected to the Transportation Committee. Perry Warren is elected to the Human Services Committee and appointed chair. Perry Warren resigns the Commerce Committee. Andre Carroll is elected to the Commerce Committee. Perry Warren resigns the Judiciary Committee. Andre Carroll is elected to the Judiciary Committee. Perry Warren resigns the Transportation Committee. Dave Deloso is elected to the Transportation Committee. Dave Mattson resigns the Human Services Committee. Keith Harris is elected to the Human Services Committee. Dave Mattson resigns the Gaming Oversight Committee. Andre Carroll is elected to the Gaming Oversight Committee. Josh Siegel resigns the State Government Committee. Keith Harris is elected to the State Government Committee. Dave Deloso resigns the Finance Committee. Justin Fleming is elected to the Finance Committee. Justin Fleming resigns the Aging and Older Adult Services Committee. Andre Carroll is elected to the Aging and Older Adult Services Committee. Respectfully submitted, Carol Hill Evans, Chairwoman, Committee on Committees.
Chair is in receipt of the following reports, which the clerk will now read.
An annual report required by the Radiation Protection Act from Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Resources and Protection regarding the Bureau of Radiation Protection's Environmental Radiation and Pennsylvania 2022 Annual Report. An annual report as required by the Solicitation of Funds for Charitable Purposes Act from the Pennsylvania Department of State regarding the 2024 Annual Charities Report. An annual report as required by the Pennsylvania One Call Law from the Pennsylvania One Call System regarding the 2023 Annual Report of the Pennsylvania One Call System.
Chair referred the following bills, which the clerk will now read.
Referral, September 27, 2024. House Bill 2599, Education. House Bill 2594, Environmental Resources and Energy. House Resolution 539, Game and Fisheries. House Bill 2593 and House Resolution 538, both to Health. House Resolution 541, State Government. House Resolution 540, Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness. House Resolution 546, the uncontested calendar under Rule 35. Referral, September 30th, 2024. House Resolution 545, Aging and Older Adult Services. House Bill 2597 and House Resolution 543, both to Health. House Bill 2603, Environmental Resources and Energy. House Bill 2596, House Bill 2598, House Bill 2600, those three to Judiciary. House Bill 2601 and House Resolution 542 to State Government. House Bill 2602 and House Resolution 544 to Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness.
The chair would like to acknowledge in the rear of the House the presence of a retired member, our retired colleague, also from West Philly, my neighbor, retired Representative Movita Johnson-Harrell's on the floor of the House. Please welcome our retired colleague. Please stand. She's in the rear of the House. Thank you for being here. Chair recognizes the Majority Caucus Chair, Representative Schlossberg, for a caucus announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there will be an immediate meeting of the House Rules Committee. House Democrats will caucus at 1:45 and will be prepared to return to the floor at 2:15.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes Representative Dunbar for a caucus announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Republicans will caucus at 1:30. Republicans will caucus at 1:30. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. The Veterans Affairs and Emergency. The House will come to order if I can have the attention of the members. The Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee has scheduled a group photo for all the members who have served in the military. If you are a veteran, we are inviting you to take part in the group photo, which will be taken in the well of the House immediately after the announcement of the first break. The chair recognizes Representative Solomon, Chair of the Committee on Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness, who reports the following bills. House Bill 2417, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2452, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 933, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 973, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill? It is agreed to. The chair recognizes Representative Solomon, Chair of the Committee on Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness, who reports the following bill. Senate Bill 531, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Solomon, Chair of the Committee on Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness, who reports the following resolutions. H.R. 510, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 518, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 520, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 532, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? The chair recognizes Representative Freeman, Chair of the Committee on Local Government, who reports the following bills. House Bill 1379, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1759, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2240, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2449, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2458, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2497, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 867, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 982, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 1132, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 1133, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 1134, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill? It is agreed to. Chair recognizes Representative Briggs, Chair of the Committee on Judiciary, who reports the following bills. House Bill 1150, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1769, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2018, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill? It is agreed to. Chair recognizes Representative Dawkins, Chair of the Committee on Labor and Industry, who reports the following bills. House Bill 254A, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2566, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Williams, Chair of the Committee on Human Services, who reports the following resolutions. H.R. 519, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 525, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the resolution? The report is agreed to. Chair recognizes Representative Kim, Chair of the Committee on Insurance, who reports the following bills. House Bill 2562, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2563, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2564, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill? It is agreed to. Senate Bill 1241, reported as amended. Will the House agree to the bill? It is agreed to. Chair recognizes Representative Daly, Chair of the Committee on Tourism and Economic and Recreational Development, who reports following resolutions. H.R. 491, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 493, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 494, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 502, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Schweier, Chair of the Committee on Education, who reports the following bills. House Bill 2599, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 801, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Schweier, Chair of the Committee on Education, who reports the following resolutions. H.R. 527, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? H.R. 533, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? The chair recognizes Representative Schweier, Chair of the Committee on Education, who reports the following bills with a request that they be re-referred. House Bill 2476 to the Committee on Finance. Will the House agree to the report is agreed to? Senate Bill 1242 to the Committee on Professional Licensure. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House will be in recess until 2:15 p.m. unless sooner recalled by the Speaker. House will come to order. Members, please take your seats. Chair recognizes Representative Bradford, Chair of the Committee on Rules, who reports the following bill. House Bill 2328, re-reported as committee. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Nielsen, Chair of the Committee on Transportation, who reports the following bills. House Bill 2582, reported as committee. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 1147, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The chair recognizes Representative Matsey, Chair of the Committee on Consumer Protection, Technology, and Utilities, who reports the following bills. House Bill 116, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1077, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1578, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2189, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 2557, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Wyszynski, Chair of the Committee on Agriculture and Rural Affairs, who reports the following bill. House Bill 2561, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Wyszynski, Chair of the Committee on Agriculture and Rural Affairs, who reports the following resolution. H.R. 528, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Members, please take your seats. We're about to take up a condolence resolution. Members, please take your seats. Take all conversation off of the floor of the House. We are about to take up a condolence resolution for a former member. We are about to take up a condolence resolution honoring the memory of the Honorable Frank W. Yandrifizitz of Northampton County, representing also Monroe and Lehigh counties. Sergeants at arms, please close the doors of the House. Members, please take your seats. The chair recognizes the Majority Leader, who calls up House Resolution 546, render's number 365, on page 1 of Uncontested Calendar, Supplemental A. Will the House read the resolution? The clerk will read the resolution.
A resolution honoring the life and service of the Honorable Frank W. Yandrusovitz, a former member from Northampton who died May 20th, 2024 at 69 years of age. Whereas Mr. Yandrusovitz worked for the benefit of the Greater Lehigh Valley as a legislator representing Monroe and Northampton counties in the 138th District and Lehigh and Northampton counties in the 183rd District. And whereas elected to the 138th District on November 6, 1984, Mr. Yandrusovitz faithfully served as a member of the General Assembly through 1990. And whereas Russell Coalition, Mr. Yandrusovitz's law partner, held the 138th district seat before him, and whereas Mr. Yandrusovitz went on to represent the 183rd district during the 1993-1994 session, and whereas Mr. Yandrusovitz further served his community with consistency and continuity through his legal practice on West 21st Street in Northampton and his lifelong membership in Queenship of Mary Church. And whereas, born September 12, 1954, Mr. Yandrusovitz was the son of Frank J. and Ethel Temel Yandrusovitz. And whereas Mr. Yandrusovitz was a graduate of Allentown Central Catholic High School, St. Joseph's University, and Villanova University Law School. And whereas Mr. Yandrusovitz was a member of the Northampton County Bar Association, the Pennsylvania Bar Association, and the Estate Planning Council of the Lehigh Valley. And whereas Mr. Yandrusovitz's sister, Marianne S. Yandrusovitz, and his father, a longtime owner-operator of the Atlas Hotel, died before him. And whereas the House of Representatives extends condolences to Mr. Yandrusovitz's wife, Janet Hammer Yandrusovitz, and his daughters, Elaine Yandrusovitz and Marlene Yandrusovitz. Therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives honor the life and service of the Honorable Frank W. Yandrusovitz, a former member from Northampton who died May 20th, 2024 at 69 years of age. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to Mrs. Janet Yandrusovitz.
Chair thanks the gentlelady. Those in favor of the resolution will rise and remain standing for a moment of silence as a mark of respect for the deceased former member. Guests will please also rise as able. The resolution has been unanimously adopted. Sergeants at arms, please open the doors of the House. For what purpose does the gentleman from Northampton, Representative Freeman, rise?
If I could just make a few brief remarks on the passing of Frank Andrusovitz.
The gentleman is in order and may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, I had the privilege of serving with Frank Andrusovitz in this House. He was a great member. He was always extremely well informed, very dedicated to the job of being a state representative, of representing his district. He usually was one of the most informed members when it came to the floor, too. He really followed the legislation and knew what he was doing. And he had a marvelous sense of humor, a very dry sense of humor, which made him a good person to be with. He was a good friend. And I think one of the very positive aspects of serving in this chamber that all of us have done is that we make great friendships along the way. Members who we serve with, who we consider good people to turn to for advice and counsel, and members who just make this experience all the more enjoyable by their personality and their friendship. Frank was a great guy, and he and Jack Pressman, another former member who passed several years ago, the three of us used to hang out quite a bit, and it was a great source of support and comfort to have such great friendships. I know that Frank's wife, Janet, and their two daughters, Marlene and Elaine, miss Frank terribly. He was a good husband and a great father, and I just wanted to note that he was a good member, and I was very proud to have served with him in this House.
Chair thanks the gentleman. The chair recognizes Representative Massey, Chair of the Committee on Consumer Protection, Technology, and Utilities, who reports the following resolutions. H.R. 358, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the report? It's agreed to. H.R. 372, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the report? It's agreed to. H.R. 511, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the report? It is agreed to. The chair recognizes the Majority Leader, who calls up House Resolution 519, printer's number 3593, on page 1 of Supplemental Calendar A. Clerk will read a summary of the resolution.
A resolution recognizing the month of September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and September 10th, 2024 as World Suicide Prevention Day in Pennsylvania. Introduced by Representative Jen O'Mara.
Will the House agree to the resolution? Those in favor of the resolution will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the resolution. The ayes are 201, the nays are 1. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader, who calls up House Resolution 520, printer's number 3594, on page 1 of Supplemental Calendar A. Clerk will read a summary of the resolution.
A resolution designating the month of September 2024 as Emergency Preparedness Month in Pennsylvania. Introduced by Representative Bellman.
Will the House agree to the resolution? On that question, Chair recognizes the maker of the resolution, the gentleman from Philadelphia. And the House will come to order for the gentleman to be heard. Representative Bellman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Each year, the President of the United States proclaims the month of September as National Emergency Preparedness Month to stress the importance of strengthening the security and resilience of our nation through systemic preparation. Whether it's natural disasters, cyber attacks, pandemic diseases, or acts of terrorism, it's extremely important that the agencies put in place for emergency preparedness have the necessary resources to fight against these emergencies. In addition to these agencies' preparedness, we must also ensure that our neighbors, friends, and family have a plan for any type of emergency. Right now, folks can visit the Federal Emergency Management Agency and Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency's websites for all types of information on dealing with these situations. And with that, I urge all of my colleagues to please vote yes on Resolution 520. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the resolution will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the resolution. The ayes are 201, the nays are 1. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Resolution 528, printers number 3614 on page 1. Supplemental calendar A. The clerk will read a summary of the resolution.
A resolution recognizing the month of September 2024 as Hunger Action Month in Pennsylvania, introduced by Representative Kincaid.
Will the House agree to the resolution? On that question, the chair recognizes the gentlelady from Allegheny County, the maker of the resolution, Representative Kincaid.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Food insecurity in our nation is worse now than it was during the pandemic. And I will repeat this again and again and again until we fix it. Food insecurity is worse now than it was during the pandemic. What is remarkable is that we actually came within striking distance of eradicating hunger during the pandemic because we finally put the funds into the programs we know can and do end food insecurity. SNAP, universal school meals, and on. What is also remarkable is that when the poorest and most vulnerable were given the supports that they needed, they finally were able to feed themselves fully, and that actually supported our businesses and our farms as well. Investing in anti-hunger programs invests more than just in the individuals receiving those benefits, it invests in our communities. But we failed to learn from this lesson, and when the miles and miles of cars waiting for assistance from our food banks disappeared and our friends and neighbors struggling with food insecurity went back to being invisible, we went back to business as usual. When 1 out of every 7 Pennsylvanians qualifies for SNAP benefits, we have a problem. When prices for basic necessities rise exponentially while wealthy corporations bring in record profits, we have a problem. When we flat fund the programs that we know are key to supporting our food banks, being able to meet increased demand when dollars do not go as far as they used to, we have a problem. This resolution is to acknowledge that September is Hunger Action Month. And I use this moment and this microphone to ask each and every one of you to commit yourselves to doing what is within our power as a state legislature to do, to take action to end hunger in Pennsylvania. Because there are Pennsylvanians struggling with food insecurity in each and every one of your districts. And this is not a red problem or a blue problem, this is a human problem. And we have the power to solve it. Tomorrow, we will come together in a bipartisan, bicameral way to play softball and enjoy some much-needed non-political camaraderie. But I ask each of you to remember that the cause we are playing for is to raise money for our charitable food network. For those of you not playing, I ask you to attend and give your time and your treasure to this important cause. And I ask that when we come together again to pass our Commonwealth's next budget, that we remember that June can be Hunger Action Month too. Until then, I ask for an affirmative vote on this resolution acknowledging September 2024 as Hunger Action Month. Thank you.
Those in favor of the resolution will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the resolution. The ayes are 201, the nays are 1. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 2294, printers number 3314, on page 3 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read the summary of the bill.
This bill allows physician assistants to work with supervising physicians licensed by either medical board.
Will the House agree to the bill as agreed to? The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 2295, printers number 3315, on page 3 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill allows physician assistants to work with supervising physicians licensed by either medical board.
Will the House agree to the bill as agreed to? The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 1891, printers number 2377, on page 3 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill establishes tourism improvement districts and tourism improvement district management associations.
Will the House agree to the bill? The gentlelady from Montgomery County, Representative Daley, offers Amendment A05181. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes the maker of the amendment, the gentlelady from Montgomery County, the chair, majority chair of Economic, Tourism, and Economic and Recreational Development, Representative Daley.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This amendment, A05181, is being put forward to address the concerns that the County Commissioners Association had with the bill. And so while this is not technically a technical amendment, in fact, it acts as a technical amendment because the only thing it's doing is responding to questions with the County Commissioner's Office. None of them have anything to do with the major parts of the bill. They're just corrections. And I ask your support for this amendment. Thank you.
Chair thanks the maker of the amendment. Those in favor of the amendment will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 119, nays are 83. The amendment's adopted. The bill will temporarily be over. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader who calls up House Bill 2450, apprentice number 3401 on page 3 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill amends Title 24 to revise membership eligibility of the Public School Employers Retirement System for new non-public employees from state-related organizations.
Will the House agree to the bill? The gentleman, Representative Roy, offers A 05385. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes the maker of the amendment, the gentleman from Crawford. Minority
Thank you,
Chair
Madam
of State
Speaker.
Government, Representative Roy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my amendment could potentially save our school districts about $5.3 million. Madam Speaker, the way the underlying bill is written, PSBA would not have to pay the withdrawal liability. When entities leave the PSERS pension system, the current state law mandates they pay a withdrawal liability, which is their proportional share of the unfunded pension liability. The unfunded pension liability for PSERS is about $43 billion. Not 43 million, $43 billion. The underlying legislation, the way it's written, indicates they don't have to pay that $5.3 million, which is PSBA's portion of the unfunded pension liability. So what that means, all the other employers do have to pay it, and that's all of our school districts. So if this bill would become law without my amendment, the 500 school districts would have to pay that $5.3 million the PA School Board Association should be paying. So, Madam Speaker, in efforts to try to keep property taxes not going up quite so bad, and to help out our taxpayers, and to make sure that PSBA owns up to their own responsibilities, I encourage all the members to vote yes on my amendment. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. On that question, the chair recognizes the maker of the bill, gentleman from Montgomery, Representative Webster.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and colleagues. Legal counsel tells me that that's an inaccurate reading of the bill. No one is withdrawn from the system by this bill. It simply addresses future members of the Pennsylvania State School Boards Association. So it doesn't have any impact on the current PSERS bill, and that's why all of those stakeholders are in support of the bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Those in favor of the amendment will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to... Oh, chair recognizes the gentleman from Lancaster, Representative Cutler. Clerk will strike the vote. The chair recognizes the Majority Leader who calls up House Bill 2450, apprentice number 3401. The House is currently considering Amendment A 05385. On that question, the chair recognizes the floor leader, Representative Cutler.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wanted to speak briefly on the amendment and the underlying bill and what is actually occurring. I understand the prime sponsor's allegations that it does not, in fact, accurately represent the bill and that nobody is being pulled out. That is correct. It only affects prospective employees. However, it is the change to the underlying program that triggers the payment, which is what the good gentleman's amendment would actually resolve. The fiscal note that we got from the IFO clearly states, and I will read from the letter that we received on July the 11th, 2024, based on estimates from PSERS and its actuaries, the projected withdrawal liability for PSBA is $5.3 million and would be paid in a manner determined by the PSERS board. Madam Speaker, anytime that changes are due or done to the system, the payment is triggered automatically. That is what the good gentleman's amendment seeks to resolve, and we're simply asking for the organization to pay the bill that is in fact owed.
Chair thanks the gentleman. On that question, Chair recognizes for the second time the maker of the amendment, Representative Roy. Gentleman waves off. Those in favor of the amendment will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 99, the nays are 103. The amendment fails. Representative Roy also offers a 05391. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes the maker of the amendment, Representative Roy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I urge a yes vote on this amendment. As everyone knows, governmental entities must comply with the right to know law. The underlying legislation makes it so the PA School Board Association is no longer a governmental entity, so they wouldn't have to comply with the right to know law. All of their funding comes from the school districts. It's all tax money, mostly school property tax money is how school districts primarily fund themselves. So because that's the money of the taxpayers, money that is spent by something that is publicly funded is subject to the right to know law. The underlying bill would basically say PSBA does not have to comply with the right to know law. So my amendment basically says they would still be considered a governmental entity for the purposes of the right to know law. So in the interest of transparency and to make sure that citizens can find out how their tax money is being spent, I urge a yes vote. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. On that question, Chair recognizes the maker of the bill, the gentleman from Montgomery County, Representative Webster.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm sure we're probably all aware the School Board Association is not a governmental organization. It is a membership organization and a 501(c) and separate from the government. So I would urge a no vote on this amendment. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor, Chair recognizes Representative Cutler.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I do agree with the prime sponsor again on a partial part of that statement. Yes, we recognize the PSBA is in fact a 501(c)(3), but we also have to recognize that every one of its members is in fact a governmental entity. And as the good gentleman, the prime sponsor of the amendment has outlined, they are in fact funded with property tax dollars. For a large portion of us in this chamber, property taxes is and continues to be a very real and relevant issue. Madam Speaker, it's not unprecedented that we haven't extended the right to know law beyond to other areas that simply receive tax dollars. We just did it to many of the state non-preferred, the Pitt, Temple, Penn State, and those other institutions that we fund every year. And I think it's wholly appropriate that we do it in this case as well. I urge a yes vote on the good gentleman's amendment. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 99, the nays are 103. The amendment fails. House agreed to the bill is agreed to. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader who calls up House Bill 2328, Reuters number 3602, on page 1 of Supplemental Calendar B, for concurrence in Senate amendments. The question is, will the House concur in the amendments inserted by the Senate? The chair recognizes the gentleman from Philadelphia, Representative Jay Harris, for a brief description of the Senate amendments.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Bill 2328 is the 2024-25 capital budget bill and is back on concurrence from the Senate. This bill authorizes the overall limitations on debt that the Commonwealth can incur for capital programs. The Senate amended the bill to lower the authorized debt from $1.495 billion to $1.395 billion. The Senate also removed language from the bill that would repeal Section 2.1 of the Capital Budget Act of 2019-2020. Removal of this language will keep the debt limit for the Redevelopment Assistant Capital Project Program at $3.1 billion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Agreeable to the provisions of the Constitution, the yeas and nays will now be taken. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on concurrence to the Senate amendments. The yeas are 195, the nays are 7. Majority required by the Constitution, having voted in the affirmative, the amendments are concurred in, and the clerk will inform the Senate accordingly. Chair is in receipt of the extracts from the Journal of the Senate, which the clerk will now read.
Bills numbered and titled as follows, having been prepared for presentation to the governor, and the same being correct, the titles were publicly read as follows. House Bill 2328, whereupon the Speaker, in the presence of the House, signed the same.
Chair is about to sign the following bill, which the clerk will now read.
House Bill 2328.
Chair referred the following bills, which the clerk will now read.
Referrals, September 30th, 2024. House Bill 2609, Agricultural Rural Affairs. House Bill 2607, Appropriations. House Bill 2605, Education. House Bill 2608, Games and Fisheries. House Bill 2604 and House Bill 2606, both to Health. House Bill 2595, Labor and Industry, and House Resolution 547 to State Government.
Majority Leader moves that the following bills be recommitted to the Committee on Appropriations. House Bill 2294, House Bill 2295, House Bill 2450. Majority Leader moves that the following bills be removed from the table calendar and be placed on the active calendar. House Bill 961, House Bill 1077, House Bill 1379, House Bill 1769, House Bill 2189. Colleagues, if I can have your attention. For what purpose does the gentleman from Beaver, Representative Cale, rise?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to wish my daughter Evangelina a very happy 4th birthday. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I love you, sweetheart. I'll see you this week.
Chair wishes Evangelina a very happy birthday. Chair wishes the gentlelady from Bucks County, Representative Tomlinson, a happy belated birthday. Chair recognizes the lady from the 33rd District in Allegheny County, Representative Steele, as today is her birthday. Happy birthday to our colleagues. For the information of the members, there will be no further votes. Chair is in receipt of a motion by the gentleman from Philadelphia, Representative Kay Harris, that the House now adjourn until Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 at 11 a.m. unless sooner recalled by the Speaker. Questions on the motion? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the House now stands adjourned until Tuesday, October the 1st, 2024 at 11 a.m., unless sooner recalled by the Speaker.